Hello everyone, welcome to American Preparatory Academy's Veterans Day program. My name is Carolyn Charette and I'm the Executive Director of American Preparatory Schools. We are gathered today to honor those who have sacrificed to protect our precious liberties. We will be streaming this live every hour from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. today, and we hope you will let all your veteran friends know and give them the link so they can hear our gratitude. First, I'd like to share a little about our school. 18 years ago, a group of parents dreamed of creating a school for our children where they could become not only very smart, but also could become outstanding American citizens. We shared a vision of what a great American school could be, and we set about to create it. Because of our commitment to preparing students to become great Americans, we decided to name our school American Preparatory Academy. We decided we would always sing 2 verses of the national anthem at our school so we can teach our students about the sacrifices being made for their liberty that are expressed in the 4th verse of that song. Our students sing those words every day. Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. These words are about you, our veterans and soldiers, and what you have given to secure our freedoms. We think it's very important that we all ponder those sacrifices frequently. When we were organizing our school, we also decided that we would commemorate Veterans Day and Memorial Day in a big way, because we understand that if it weren't for our veterans who protect our liberties, we would not be able to celebrate all the other holidays that we love to celebrate. Now, since we opened that first campus 17 years ago, we have opened 5 more schools, and we now have over 5,000 students attending American Preparatory Academy. American Prep serves families from many countries and backgrounds, many different faith traditions, many different cultural traditions. Our families are very diverse, and their children come to school each day and work side by side with each other in peace and in friendship, in the true American spirit. Veterans Day gives us the opportunity to thank you, for without you, we would not have the liberty to enjoy that peace and friendship. We are indebted to our veterans and soldiers, those who served in years past and those currently serving. You who have been willing to put your lives on the line to keep our founders' vision of a diverse and free America alive. It is our hope that our students can fully realize and will never forget that their liberty began with great visionary men and women who established our exceptional Constitution, and that their liberty is maintained by heroes like all of you. So thank you so much for joining us today. Our students have been learning about you and thinking about you for the past weeks and months as they have prepared for this day. They have made cards for you, handwritten cards, and we have a special pin for each veteran or soldier who would like one. It says, Honored Veteran 2020 American Preparatory Academy. Those of you who have participated with us in the past know that we've been giving these pins out every year. And even though we're unable to meet in person this year, we still wanted to make sure that these pins are available to all of you. So if you would like to get a card and a pin, please contact Marian Minson at mminson@apamail.org, or call any of our school campuses and ask for a Veterans Day card and pin. We can arrange for you to come pick it up, or we can mail it to your home. We would love to be able to distribute all of our cards and pins to our veterans this year, even though we can't be with you to give it to you in person. Even though we cannot be with you physically this year, we hope that you still equally can feel all of our love and gratitude as we present our songs, poems, and speeches. We will begin with our pledge and national anthem, and the words to the 2nd verse will appear on your screen. We will then proceed through the program with presentations, songs, and talks by our student essay winners and a staff member veteran. We really hope you enjoy the program.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To remember and uphold the ideals of our country: liberty, equality, democracy, respect for the rule of law, and patriotism, which means gratitude and respect. As an American, it is my duty
to remember that these ideals are due to the heroes who lived and died for them, and to the heroes who defend these ideals with their lives today.
As an American, it is my duty
to treat all others with dignity and respect.
As an American, it is my duty
to be willing to listen courteously and with an open mind to others who hold different positions than mine, because increased understanding strengthens our democratic republic.
As an American, it is my duty
to remember the patriots who sacrificed to establish these ideals amidst great opposition.
As an American, it is my duty
to show respect to servicemen and women and public servants who uphold these ideals today.
We support these ideals in word and action and express our patriotism so that our free nation might be preserved for our children and grandchildren. Today we are here to honor brave veterans who fight and sacrifice time and effort for our country. I am grateful for veterans because they enable us to live in a free country where we can choose what we want to do. I am also thankful that they protect our social freedoms, such as freedom of speech, religion, democracy, and choice. I am grateful that I can honor and thank these good people for their service. These brave men and women give us a hopeful future where we can be whatever or whomever we want to be. While I respect all veterans, I wanted to talk about one in specific, a dear friend and neighbor, Dave Reese. Dave is a retired Navy veteran who served for 22 years, from 1950 to 1972. He joined the Navy when he was only 16 years old. He hadn't even graduated high school. During his first assignment, he met another shipmate who was a teacher. This new friend encouraged Dave to take classes on the weekend and eventually earn his GED. While he was training, he did military drills and even learned how to dive out of a sub, swim to shore, and bury bombs in the beach. Dave also learned how to jump out of a plane or helicopter. He later became a Chief Petty Officer and was given the Purple Heart Award. Dave served 3 tours in Vietnam, which means he went 3 times back from the United States to the war front. Each tour was 1 year long. While he was away, he missed out on 3 years of his children's birthdays, first days of school, holidays, and general time with his wife and children. My dad sometimes leaves our family for a few weeks at a time to help fight wildfires. I miss him very much and can't imagine what it would be like to have him gone for a full year. Dave sacrificed time for the country, and his family also had to relinquish time with their father and husband. Both those serving and their families sacrificed for us all. Dave is now 85 years old. While he was in Vietnam, he was exposed to Agent Orange. This was originally used to kill off vegetation, but after some time it was found to cause health problems, including cancer and birth defects. Dave and other veterans from Vietnam continue to struggle with the effects of Agent Orange. He is now permanently disabled because of kidney and heart damage that occurred during the war. Even with these health problems, he says, quote, would not have changed his service and is very proud that I was able to do my part in such a critical time in our history. Today, Dave continues to show his love for others. He has, in a way, adopted my siblings and me as his grandchildren. He encourages us to follow our strengths and to choose our own paths. He continues to follow the principles that he learned in the Navy. He uses his time to watch over those around him and build the community, and is part of a global force for good. He is a wonderful friend and neighbor, and I am grateful that he is such a good friend across the street. Thanks to Dave and the many other soldiers, we continue to have protected freedoms. The freedoms that I am most thankful for are freedom of religion, speech, and choice. I am thankful that I can choose whatever religion I want to follow without being worried that I will be punished for my beliefs. I am grateful that I can speak out for what I believe is right or speak against things that I believe are wrong. Lastly, I am grateful for the freedom of choice. I am able to choose whatever profession, school, or path I want to take. These freedoms provide me with agency to make my own way in life. I choose to honor veterans by shaking their hands, thanking them for their service, and helping them. Dave is one example of the millions of honorable veterans that have served our country, and I am grateful to you all. I am thankful that we have people that keep us safe and that they are willing to give up time with their families and friends. I am grateful that I can sleep safely, knowing that I have protected freedoms. I am filled with gratitude for these brave men and women who so honorably fight for rights and freedoms. I salute you. Thank you. Veterans are amazing people that risk their lives for us. Before I came to APA last year, I didn't fully understand what Veterans Day was all about. I'm so thankful that I have a better understanding of what Veterans Day means, and that I now have an even deeper appreciation for not only all veterans who serve, but especially those in my family who serve and have served. I want to pay tribute to my great-grandpa Brooks, who served in World War II, and my uncle Jaron Brooks, who have served 4 different tours throughout his military career, by sharing the stories I have been told about how they fought for our country and the sacrifices they have made. Without veterans, we would not have many of the freedoms we have today. My great-grandpa Brooks was enlisted during World War II from June 1944 until May 1946. He was first assigned to the headquarters company with the 128th Infantry and arrived in the Philippines just before the invasion of Luzon. He also served on many islands in the Pacific and was part of the army that occupied Japan after the war. One amazing and special thing about my great-grandpa is that he received both the Purple Heart and Bronze Star and Silver Star. The Purple Heart Medal is awarded to members of the armed forces who are wounded by an instrument of war in the hands of the enemy. Receiving a Silver Star is almost more incredible and heroic because it means the soldier put his own life in danger to help someone else. Unfortunately, that is all we know about why my grandpa received the awards, because he never talked about the reasons behind receiving them. He passed away on January 21st, 2007, and all his military records burned in a fire in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. I never got a chance to meet my great-grandpa Brooks, but I am so thankful for his service and that I get to learn about him and keep his memory alive. My uncle Jaron Brooks has served for 19 and a half years in various positions in the Army Reserve, the Active Duty Army, and the Army National Guard. He started his Army career in 2003 as a truck driver in Operation Iraqi Freedom 1 and 2 and served there for 18 months. He said this was one of the scariest times in his life because he didn't know if he would come home alive and because it was his first deployment. In Afghanistan, he had done extensive training and was assigned to fly Black Hawk helicopters as a medevac pilot for the 82nd Airborne Division. Each deployment was hard and scary in its own way, but this deployment to Afghanistan was especially hard because he left a wife and 2 small girls at home. It was also hard because he had some close friends who died in the war. The Army has moved his family all over the U.S. and world, including Utah, Alabama, North Carolina, Tennessee, and even Korea. My uncle has also had to go through a lot of training to serve, including basic training, Warrant Officer Career College, Basic Officer Leader Courses, SEER training, which stands for Survive, Evade, Resist, and Escape, PRW training, flight school in the military, and a Warrant Officer Advanced course, and other courses to keep up on his flying skills. His military clearance even allowed us to go see some helicopters for my cousin's birthday at Airport Number 2 at the Utah National Guard. It amazed me at how many buttons were inside the helicopters. The rotors were gigantic and the helicopters were much bigger than I had imagined. I am so grateful that my Uncle Jaron has given so many years of his life serving our country. I am so grateful to his wife and 3 daughters who have sacrificed and served as well. Having veterans in my family has allowed me to learn more about them and what being a veteran really means. There are many people who might not have veterans in their families, and that is okay. Veterans Day is celebrated 1 day a year, but I hope we also use it as a reminder to always honor all veterans and not take for granted the freedoms that we have on a daily basis. I know this year has been especially difficult, and this year especially I have been reminded how fortunate we are to live in America. And even though there have been hard times, we still have freedoms that many don't. Thank you to all the veterans who serve and have served. May we always honor and remember them on Veterans Day and every day.
Land
I am grateful for the opportunity to speak today. Today means so much to so many who have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Services. I am grateful for the opportunity I have had to serve this nation. My love of country and flag was instilled in me when I was a small child and has flourished through the years. I was taught that this country, the United States of America, was truly a land of opportunity, a shining city on a hill for all to see. When I enlisted in the Army, I remember the youthful enthusiasm that I had. I was going to be a United States soldier. It was a culmination of a desire that I had had since I was a small child. I remember standing before the flag in the MEP Center at Fresno, California, and raising my hand and taking the oath of enlistment. The words echo through the years. I, Alvaro Garcia Ramirez III, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I remember thinking to myself that I had never read the Constitution, and therefore how could I support and or defend it? Since that day, I have read and studied that document numerous times. I've always had a copy of the Constitution with me, and I now carry it on my phone. That document means something to me. It was the reason why I served, in order to preserve the rights and liberties which it protects. That oath of my allegiance to the ideals known as constitutional principles were the driving force behind my service and my continued service to this nation to this day. As a soldier, I learned many important things that I've used throughout my life. Of course, you have those typical things of discipline, organization, and presentation that are inculcated in all soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard men. The most important lessons, though, were those of trust, unity, and teamwork. I knew that I could trust the training that I was receiving and those who were training with me to keep me alive and to get me through tough situations. I knew that I could trust my brothers in arms with my life. We trained to work as one and to move as one, though made up of many. I knew that if I felt the hand of my brother on my shoulder, that it meant that he had my six, and I could move forward without fear or hesitation. We are at a crossroads in America today. There are forces trying to undermine the unity and order established by the Constitution. The American people are being duped into accepting chaos and disarray as an acceptable alternative to long-held and revered constitutional principles in an attempt to redefine and alter the state of affairs within this country. We must stand fast and not cede another inch to the enticements presented to encourage this rapid cessation of our freedoms protected by the Constitution of the United States. If we stand united and put aside racial and cultural differences and embrace the universal principle of freedom, we can and will save this union. We must amalgamate as a people to ensure the preservation of true and enduring freedom. I stand here today and call upon all Americans, whether citizen or not, to unite in common purpose to embrace constitutional principles, principles of freedom, principles of unity, principles of justice. May the generation going before us and those coming after us feel that generational hand upon their shoulder, reassuring them that we have their six, that they can count on us to advance the cause of freedom, that we may be ever a nation united. Hua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, soldiers.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much to those of you that have served our country and continue to serve our country. We so appreciate you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, soldiers.
Thank you for your sacrifices.
Thank you for protecting my freedoms. I'm grateful to you and all that you've given.
Thank you for everything you've done for our country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
From one veteran to another one, thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, men and women.
Thank you so much for my freedom.
Thank you for your service. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your service.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and diligence.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for my peace of mind.
You've given so much and we can't ever thank you enough.
Thank you for your dedication and service.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you for doing what I can't. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you for all you do.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
We hope you have enjoyed our program. Now, I want to speak for just a minute to our students who are also watching this live stream today in their classes. So, in effect, we are all together today. Our guests, our students, our staff members, and hopefully a lot of our families are watching our Veterans Day program today. So I'd like to speak to our students for just a moment. Students, today we have learned that our veterans gave. And I'd like to talk to you for just a minute about that giving. What did they give? They gave their personal time with their families. They gave up opportunities to be with their friends, opportunities to pursue their personal dreams, sometimes even their education or their careers, at least for a period of time. They gave their time, their energy, their talents, their skills, and they were willing to give their very lives. Yes, they were willing to give everything. And by giving up their personal freedom, they won and they continue to win our freedom. So students, in honor of our veterans, I would ask you, what will you give? Will you give some of your time to pause and think about the sacrifices made for your liberty? Will you give honor and respect for our nation's veterans? Will you give yourself in service to your community, to your friends, to your classmates, and to your teachers, and to your families? Will you give of your time to study hard so you'll be prepared to lead in your profession? Will you give kindness? Will you give goodwill? energy and effort to change the world for the better? Our veterans have surely shown us a great example of unselfish giving. I hope we will all follow their examples and become more willing to give. All right, to our guests, thank you again for joining us today. We will leave you with one last expression of our gratitude, a favorite song of ours entitled, "Thank You, Soldiers." We enjoyed preparing this for you, and we hope you can feel our love as we sing it for you.